Hi everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to this session. Um, Kindly let me know in the chat if I'm properly audible and visible to all of you. Anyone? So, those watching me for the first time, my name is Niharika John Mehra and I am your faculty of English. Here on this platform, I am giving regular classes, so you all are most welcome. On Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday, we are having practice sessions going on at 1:30 p.m. And the topic currently is CSAT RCs. Okay. And there is a great session, a dynamic session going on for all of you. It is at 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday on this channel. Now, what we are going doing is, first of all, we are analyzing the editorial, one of the editorials from the Hindu or Indian Express. Then we are doing the vocabulary part, we are doing grammar, we are practicing some MCQs and summary. So the complete package is there for all of you, and this is a very, very helpful session to hone your skills when it comes to English. Okay. So I would encourage you guys to attend that session also. Now let's get back to this one. We are gonna start doing the questions. I want you once again to answer here in the chat whatever you think is the answer. Please understand, comprehend पूछा क्या गया है and answer. Okay. Please start doing. Okay. Answer to this one is only second and the third one. This is again a question of inference. Something we understand after reading the content in the passage. The pulse variety Pusa Ahar 16 has the potential to be grown in the paddy growing of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, and eventually in all of India. So, this variety could be grown in all of India. Its yield will be significantly greater than those of the existing varieties. And because its size will be uniform, it will be amenable to mechanical harvesting, an attractive feature for farmers in northern India who currently are using it for paddy. So just like for the paddy crops, there is the use of machine here for harvesting. Because of the size of this pulse, it is gonna help here as well. Important, most important, arahar straw, unlike paddy straw, is green, arid, can be plowed back into the soil. Okay, so they don't have to burn it. In paddy straw, the problem is high silica content, which does not allow for easy decomposition. So paddy may easily decompose नहीं होता है. In the case of arhar, the farmer, even after combine harvesting, just needs to run a rotavator to cut the leftover straw, which can be plowed back and will decompose very fast. So the post harvest process here, decomposition is also helpful. It is easy here in the Pusa Ahar 16 variety of pulse. AU, this is difficult with leftover paddy stocks. Okay, this is difficult. That cannot be easily salvaged or plowed back. Farmers therefore choose the easiest option of simply burning it. Because decomposition is not easy, they are burning it. Now, what all I can infer? Farmers' income will be higher with pulse cultivation than with paddy cultivation. See, author is not comparing the income or how much paddy is benefiting and how much this kind of pulse is benefiting. He's simply saying that this type of pulse 16, the type 16, this is going to help more than the other pulse variety. So first ka base nahi hai, it is not my answer. Pulse cultivation causes less pollution as compared to paddy. Yes, because paddy को burn कर रहे हैं farmers, pulse के straw को they are easily decomposed. So here this is true. Once I know second is true, my two options are out. Okay, 2 and 3 are common here. I would focus on the fifth one. If I'm able to eliminate the fifth one, I know my answer is C. Mechanized agriculture is the main cause for stubble burning. No, this mechanical harvesting is helping us in some other way. The reason for this stubble burning or farmers burning it is because the paddy stalks are not easily decomposed. So that's the reason. That's why 5 is not an inference, and we from this much itself we know second and third are the answers. In the context of northern Indian agriculture, paddy straw has no usefulness. Extreme option, not my, cannot be my answer. Pulse straw can be used to improve soil quality. Yes, because it is decomposing, it is green arid. Of course, it is going to help us with the fertility improvement part of the soil. Next inference. Answer to this one is A. Again, inference, let's see. Estimates on population growth predict a global population of 9.6 billion in 2050 and 10.9 in 2100. Unlike Europe, North America, where only 3 to 4% population is engaged in agriculture, around 47, it's a big number, of India's population is dependent upon agriculture. And if India continues to do well in the service sector, the manufacturing sector picks up, it is expected that around 2030, India overtakes China as the world's most populous country. So India will overtake China in terms of most populous country, right? Nearly 42% of India's population will still be dependent on agriculture. So there are two things we get to see. Dependency on agriculture in India is way higher than other countries, what we get to see there, and the population part. So this is an easier version of the question, because if one is answer, rest three are automatically not the answer. It's not like the previous question. The prosperity of agriculture sector is of critical importance of India, because population badega and still we get to see 42% will be still predominantly dependent on agriculture. So if agriculture is not doing well, it is not prospering, with the growing population, it will be challenging. Hence, prosperity is of critical importance of agriculture is critical importance to India. Second says, why not B, C, and D? Second says, Indian economy greatly depends on its agriculture. See, guys, we are talking about people engaged in agriculture, and we can also see even if India does well in service sector, manufacturing sector. So, seeing Indian economy, not India. Indian economy depends on its agriculture, and that also in a great manner is something halfway true, but we don't have enough evidence from the passage, hence not the B1. India should take strict measures to control its rapid population. This can be true, but not an inference. Okay, we may think we don't want this much of population, we should have something to do with how to control. If I have more than what is written in front of me, I could have thought about C, but as of now, this is not the inference. India's farming communities should switch over to other occupations to improve their economic condition. Author is nowhere saying stop agricultural activities, stop participating in anything that relates to agriculture, switch to something else. He is simply giving us the facts. First fact is the population growth, the speed of it, and second fact is that in India, majority of them they depend on agriculture sector. So sector should prosper. Okay, that's why A is your answer. Let's do another inference based question. Please make sure to like and share the session, guys, and subscribe if you are new here. Narottam, I'll discuss this. I just got your message, so I'll answer you once we are done doing this one. Okay. So I will tell you extreme options क्या होते हैं. Okay, we'll discuss this doubt and then I show you the answer. Extreme ones are saying something is never going to happen. Something is always present. It is not at all possible. It is impossible. These are extreme options. First of all, understand the meaning of extreme options. Okay. Now, your question is, isn't A way extreme as population growth is slow process and not sudden boom? So how it can be of critical importance? Okay. In the option, nowhere timing is mentioned. It's not saying that it is to be done in next 5 years or anything. The meaning of critical importance is that it should be on our priority. Okay. Critical importance doesn't mean urgently karna hai. Okay, it's not urgent. Critical means it has topmost priority, it should be given priority. We can start working today and maybe after 5, 10, 30, 40 years we will be able to achieve it. So author, when he says that prosperity of agriculture, meaning that agriculture need to grow at the kind of similar pace how the population is growing, is of some importance, which is a part of, which is supposed to be part of our priority. Okay, I think you're mixing up the word urgent, something that is needed to be done immediately in the near future, with the word critical. Okay, so वो vocabulary का context समझो. I hope this helps. Good, you asked your doubt and I encourage all of you to ask your doubts. Answer to this one is B. Okay. By 2020, when the global economy is expected to run short of 56 million young people. Okay, global economy is expected to run short of so many young people. India, with its youth surplus, so globally number of youths are that number is less, but in India we have surplus more than needed of 47 million, could fill the gap. It is in this context that labor reforms are often cited as the way to unlock double digit growth in India. So, this is one of the points based on which we can grow, India can grow, because in this context, labor reforms are mentioned. Okay, because we have good human resource, youth surplus. In 2014, India's labor force was estimated to be about 40% of population, but 93% of this force was in unorganized sector. Overall 40% of the population, but इसमें से 40% का 93% was in unorganized. Over the last decade, the compound annual growth rate (CAGR) of employment has slowed to 0.5%, with about 14 million jobs created during last year, when the labor force increased by about 15 million. So how many jobs were created and how much force we get to see, uska comparison बताया है. So what is the inference again? India must control its population growth so as to reduce its unemployment. Author is saying leverage karo. Author is again not mentioning directly, indirectly anything that control wala part should be there. Labor reforms are required in India to make optimum use, maximum use of its vast labor force productively. So we have human resource, and already labor reforms are cited in the context of the number of people we have. And if we can bring these two together, if labor reforms are used in the best possible way, are made in the best possible way, we can definitely work it out. Okay, we can have good growth. So we can use to make optimum use of the labor force productively. If they become productive, that means unorganized se organized mein aa gaye. We are utilizing their the labor force that has a big part, a greater part of youth people. So वहाँ पे हमें benefit होगा. Third and fourth point, again related to India. India is poised to achieve double growth very soon. We have no proof of it. Very soon is one of the extremes. India is capable of supplying the skilled people to other countries. See, this something some people can think, okay, this is true. If we have surplus, let's send some people abroad. But this is again not inference. This can be something you suppose. India is capable of supplying skilled young people to other countries, but why to do that? Author is talking about what India's labor force is supposed to do, what reforms in India should work out. So he is not suggesting because we have surplus, let's send them out. Okay, he's saying that we must work on it. We must work on the job creation, etc. So that's why B was your answer. Again, inference-based question, most critical, logical. Inference is inference. Open defecation is disastrous when practiced in very densely populated areas where it is impossible to keep away human feces from crops, wells, food, and children's hands. Of course, open defecation is disastrous, especially in densely populated areas. Groundwater is also contaminated by open defecation. Second piece of information, groundwater भी खराब होता है. Many ingested germs and worms spread diseases. They prevent body from absorbing calories and nutrients. Nearly one half of India's children remain malnourished, and now author is talking about India's children who remain malnourished. Lakhs of them died from preventable conditions which could have been prevented, but we are still losing so many people over it. Diarrhea leaves Indian body smaller on average than those people in some poorer countries where people eat fewer calories. So, diarrhea is one of the main causes. Underweight mothers produce stunted babies. Mothers themselves are not healthy, they are underweight, and because of that, the babies also suffer. Prone to sickness who may fail to develop full cognitive potential. So some kind of retardation is there. The germs released into environment harm rich and poor alike. Okay. So author is saying because he started with talking about defecation and how how badly it is impacting such populated areas. At the ending, he's ending in the same tone. The germs released into environment, that those germs they don't see who is rich, who is poor. Even those who are using proper washrooms, latrines, and all, If this is happening, open defecation is happening, it is going to impact everyone. Okay. Now, the central and state governments do not have enough resources, do not have, hai hi nahi, extreme option out. Open defecation is the most important public health problem of India. Most is superlative degree, or if any other superlative degree is used, the brightest, the smartest. It is an extreme option again. So, author is saying it is a very serious problem. Okay, but the most important one, we cannot go with that one. Open defecation reduces the human capital of India's workforce. Yeah, we'll think about it. Open defecation is a public health problem in all developing countries. No, I have a piece written here that talks about what is happening in India. Why already we are seeing that these Indian children, they remain malnourished, and how it is impacting India. So talking about all the countries, all extreme word is not going to help me. Now, open defecation reduces human capital. How it is reducing? People are dying. Open defecation is it's causing harm. It's also one of the reasons where underweight mothers are producing stunted babies and they are not able to develop full cognitive दिमागी उनकी हालत भी थोड़ी सी कमजोर होती है. So this is the reason if open defecation continues, human capital of India's workforce is also going to decrease. Logic. Okay, that's your answer. Okay. Answer to this one is D. Again, it's okay. Not this time. It's in fact it's the message that is implied in the above passage. What do we get to learn? So anything that is a crucial rational message is the practical message that we get to learn. So vast numbers of Indian citizens without bank accounts live in rural areas. So a huge number of people without accounts, they are from rural areas. They are financially and functionally illiterate and have little experience with technology. Okay, so of course, literacy is also an issue here. A research study was conducted in a particular area in which electronic wage payments in Manregs are meant to go directly to the poor. So through technology, in this study, they studied a particular area where electronic payments were made, they were supposed to go directly to the poor. It was observed that the recipients often assume that the village leader needs to mediate the process. So people, now what was observed? One thing that we observed was that the people were dependent on the village leader, and they thought from him or her they will get their payments, or they are the mediators, as was the case under the previous paper based system. And the same thing even happened when there was no electronic based payments, but a paper based system was applied. Among households under this research study area who claimed to have at least one bank account, among those people where in the family there was at least one bank account, over a third reported, over 33% reported receiving wages in cash directly from a village leader. Okay, so people lacking financial awareness despite digital solutions. This is the context जो कि आपको थोड़ा hint दे दिया गया. So it is essential to provide financial literacy to the rural poor so that they can directly handle their wages. So simple, na? This is a crucial message. After reading the condition here, okay, what I can do? I know people are not functionally literate. That's why they're depending on the village leader. Okay, they do have the option of electronic wage payments. They are unable to access it because of the literacy. So it makes it essential. Now, this is a message that I draw from the passage, that it is important, essential, necessary to provide financial literacy to the rural poor. The goal of electronic wage payments was not to eliminate mediation. See, passage is not encouraging me to eliminate or to keep the village leaders here in the picture. So this is not the message that we receive from the whole passage. The paper-based system is more efficient, no comparison. Manrates should be extended only to those who have a bank account. Author is not talking about who should be given the wages and who should not be given. He is talking about the lack here, where we are still lacking, and hence answer is again a crucial message question. Crucial message is literally understanding what would you do, what did you learn, what you could do after knowing the situation described in the passage. So this is something very easy to follow. If you compare these questions with assumption or inference based question, these are easier ones. Okay, answer to this one is D. So again, a crucial message. Okay, India has suffered from persistent high inflation. Okay, so India has suffered from continuous inflation, increase in administered prices, Demand supply imbalances, imported inflation aggravated by rupee depreciation, and speculation have combined, all the reasons have combined to keep inflation going. If there is an element common to all of them, something common, it is that many of them are the outcomes of economic reform. So the reasons here, the inflation and the causes are result of economic reforms. India's vulnerabilities to the effects of changes in international prices has increased. India is vulnerable to international prices and it has increased with trade liberalization or बढ़ चुका है. The effort to reduce subsidies has resulted in a continuous increase in prices of commodities that are administered. So this effort to reduce, to bring down subsidies, this has resulted in increase, एक लगातार increase हो रहा है in the prices of commodity. So economic reforms can often, high inflation can often induce, होना चाहिए, I'm so sorry, one verb is missing over here, can induce high inflation economy, okay, or can often increase inflation. ऐसे भी आप सोच सकते हो, high as a verb use हुआ है वहाँ पे, but better induce होता. So definitely because all that the outcomes of economic reforms. So they are not helping. Economic reforms are actually giving birth to inflation, and this is clearly mentioned here. Answer to this one is C. The majority of, again, message implied. What is implied? What do you get to learn? So this is the same message question. Okay, implied is इससे आप क्या समझते हो? The majority of people who fail to accumulate money sufficient for their needs, those people who fail to have enough money for their needs, are generally easily influenced by opinions of others. And these people, such people are influenced by opinions of others. They permit the newspapers and gossiping neighbors to do their thinking for them. So they are influenced easily. Opinions are the cheapest commodities on the earth. Okay, opinions free में बांटते हैं लोग. Everyone has a flock of opinions ready to be wished upon by anyone who will accept them. सबके पास सबके लिए ज्ञान है. Okay, if you understand Hindi, you know this thing very well. If you are influenced by opinions, when you reach decisions, you will not succeed in any undertaking. The author is basically saying that these opinions are, of course, not gonna give you any kind of fruit. So what is implied? Okay, most of the people do not accumulate money for their needs. No, who are failing and who are not failing based on accumulation of money is what we get to see in the passage. We cannot say that most of the people do not accumulate at all money for their needs. See, it's lazy hai wo. Most of the people never fail to accumulate, but they fail. Majority of those who fail are actually influenced. So this is also wrong. There is no need to accumulate money. Author तो और उल्टा बोल रहा है. He is saying that if people are able to accumulate money, they won't be influenced by opinions, useless opinions of others. And that's why D is also not. Through elimination, clearly sees the answer. There are people who fail to accumulate money for their needs. There are people, yes, who fail to accumulate money because majority of people they do fail. This is what we can, in a way, not conclude, but we can have as a takeaway from the passage. Okay, so here we are done. Just to remind you, we do have a class at 8 p.m. again where we are going to do editorial and the whole analysis part. Excellent session for all of you to practice. Okay, so I'm gonna catch you at 8 p.m. Till then, take care. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.